Hey, I'm just trying to catch up on my junk journaling. I got a list of events, a variety of ephemera, and let's get started. So when we last left off, I have not done any journaling since our last video here. I last left off at the end of March, and now I've got April and May to catch up with. So the first thing I did was do this blind bag challenge for Sandra at Blossom and Inspire. She sent out these little thank you pockets, and it came with this little card on which I wrote a little bit about what I sent in for the blind bag challenge, and this is a piece of scrap that came from my blind bag item. So I'm just going to go ahead and washi tape this on and turn it into a bit of a flip out thing here, because I just wanted to be able to flip over and be able to see the writing on the other side. So I find that I sometimes pile up my journaling, the journaling that I want to do, just to keep track of all the events and things going on in my life, until I have either, I don't know, honestly just have time to do it, or a critical mass of things where, you know, at some point collecting more stuff will just make it more difficult to try to get through everything. So I'm just using this cute little butterfly washi I have here on both sides to get that stuck on there with that little note. My kids had a Math 24 event. I've got one of these cards that they use for practice, although it's not exactly the same because this one is like adding up to 48 instead of 24 or something like that. So these are not the actual cards they use, but I saw that they were kicking around the house, so I'm guessing that my kids are done with this for now. And it's just a bit of a big event here in Oregon that a lot of children who grew up here are familiar with. I didn't grow up in a place where you had that kind of continuity, where a lot of people were from the town from which they are living and have, you know, multi-generation families growing up there. So I got this little piece of paper that I got from Sandra that I'm going to use. I think it's like probably a fly sheet, you know, one of the pages at the end of a book. And I'm just going to write some notes about that and put this in this pocket once it dries. Let's see what I got here on my list. After that, I wanted to reserve some space for my channel launch, and that happened. My launch was on the 5th of April, so maybe I'll take a note here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some junk journaling, or just plain journaling, writing about my thoughts and expectations when I started this channel. One of the earlier videos I did was about using 365 calendars, and so I pulled out one of my well, this is April 5th here, so that would be the day of the launch. I think that makes sense. I'm going to use this and just stick it in this pocket here, this envelope. In making this journal, I realized that I don't actually like having these pockets. This is an envelope, and I sewed it in, but it's really hard to get in and out of, and I didn't really like that, so I'm probably not going to repeat that in the future. So we'll just leave this here, make it easy to bring it in and out, and I'll have plenty of space to write in there if I wanted to, right here, right here. I've got a lot of thoughts and reflections that I like to make. So then we move on to we had the library book sale that I helped with, and that was this is a piece of a book page from one of the books that I had gotten from the book sale, and this is a piece of I'm basically reusing a lot of the stuff that I got from this blind bag challenge that I didn't actually use. So I'm going to just stick this in there to represent, you know, book page. And I also made one of these stamps in a recent video that came from the same book. So I'm just going to cut this out real quick. Or maybe it would be easier if I tear it. I don't know. Probably would have been easier if I tore it. Maybe I could have it stick out as a little bit of a tab like that. I think that would be cute. And then have this book page tuck in a little bit underneath. And I think this paper would be a good place to do a little writing. Brief writing, or at least put down the date. So my book here is definitely turning into a very gator mouth stage where it's really hard to get into. It's not quite gatored yet, but you know, it's getting hard to work in here. It might be at that gator mouth point by the time I am done. So here I'm kind of wanting to stick it up over the top. So I'm going to have the glue come to the edge of that so that I can hit the edge without having to worry about going over the edge here. And I will just line up the edge there, and then just take a note. What did I say? April 17 to 19. Book sale. And I don't know if I want to add a stamp when I already have a stamp here, so we can leave that one out for now. Might use the stamp in the journaling about my channel instead. All right, then I think I'm going to leave a blank page here because I have a couple of family events that I would like to write about later. And then we had this event where we were giving away some art supplies to those who, for an art contest for the Friends of the Salem Library. So I've got this entry that, this example that I had made that a lot of people were very interested in when they saw it. So I think I'll just stick this in here and then just leave the date on top. I don't, I mean, I would have liked it to be a pocket, but it's really not the best format for a pocket. I think maybe if I had gone and backed this with cardstock or something, that would have been fine, but I'm not going to worry about that at this point. I thought that this was fairly fun and also relatively easy to remake if I wanted to do something like this again. And that was May 9th. So 9 art supply giveaway. Okay. All right, then I move on to this page that I put in here that's a little awkward. It kind of flips out a little bit. I think I'll save this side for additional family events. And then the next, I have a little I voted sticker, but I can't find that right now. So it's probably going to go on here somewhere since it happened in that time period. It's one of those cute things that now has a use. I don't know, I've gotten many of them over the years, but I have not saved them, and now I've got a place and reason to, you know, keep them stored. So the next event that I have here to talk about, to journal about, is this concert. We went to the Music of John Williams concert. I think my family realized that I wanted ephemera, so I collected a bunch of these from everybody who picked one up, and so I have some spares of these pages to use, which is really nice. It came with a couple nice pictures that I could use for other reasons for future journaling. And so we had a fun time at this John Williams concert, but I do wonder, guys, if you were going to a John Williams concert, he did a lot of musical movie themes. If you were going to see his concert, let's say you didn't know who he was, but you were a fan of one of these videos, and you like the music, which of these do you think you would have shown up to for this concert for? Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jaws, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, Star Wars, or E.T. He also has Superman here. I don't know, just let me know in the comments, which of these things do you think you would have wanted to go to this concert for? Because I know that there were many people who are fans of all of his work, and there were some people who showed up because they were fans of a specific piece of work. What I found really interesting was how they, the music that they chose at this event. I think that they chose a Star Wars piece of music that I wouldn't have actually recognized as Star Wars if somebody hadn't told me that it was, which is kind of disappointing. I had to leave at the intermission for, a minor emergency that, everyone's fine about right now, but it turns out that they did do the main Star Wars theme as an closing piece that wasn't on this program, but I was just really surprised when some of the pieces they played really made sense, and then others didn't really make a lot of sense if you were trying to pander to the fans that were there for that reason. So I thought that was interesting, and I overall a pretty enjoyable event, especially since we were paying $5 a ticket because of some student pricing we were able to get. So I think that I'm going to try to glue this in here real quick. I wonder if I can get this to fit here without being too much of a pain. Here I am struggling with the fullness of this journal here. I'm probably not going to be having another journal of this size. Okay, I think I may have to actually use this for my glue stick here. I don't think that this glue stick is going to be the best way to attach it, so I think maybe I'll go around the edges with more serious glue, but there's a lot of area to cover, and I'm feeling a little pressure to get this one done and down. But I thought that it would be fun to have this little post-it note in here to kind of illustrate my thoughts if I needed any aids to remember the event, and this still leaves me some space to be able to journal around about this event. And then I'm just going to go around the edges with this extra glue, or with Fabri-Tac maybe, because I'm gluing this down to a wallpaper piece. There's not it's not a really great surface for glue sticks, and I'm probably going to be using Fabri-Tac as well on this side, which is kind of like a interesting textured wallpaper. So that's a whirlwind tour of 2 months, basically catching up on spring events in this journal, with a couple of places where I will be, I've made to do some journaling, as well as some blank pages for additional items that I want to cover. So thanks for watching, and I hope you catch up on your own journaling too.